Hello, this is Ben Allen with your Storm Seekers here. I'm going to do a little video today on a first aid and triage pack. It's a nice little thing that you can have in your car, always wise. You can make it with any good container that holds up, waterproof, a little rugged. It's always nice to have. Now with this, I always suggest, especially if you're trained on basic, but you're not really sure, you always want to be on the safe side. Double check, you can always get it. Backcountry makes a great first aid. It's a walk step by step on how to do first aid to prevent hypothermia, splints, triage, all sorts of stuff right there for you. Now the key to a great first aid kit is always to have a very nice knife. This is made by Coast. It's a titanium blade. Stays very nice and clean. Very, very razor sharp. Always nice to have. Just do watch yourself when you use this. It can get very dangerous very fast. Always great for cutting seat belts, things like that. Now we're going to crack it open and we'll see what we have. Now, I always like to have a few extra things that people don't think of. Precautionary, you never know what you can run into, especially when you work first response. Have a little first aid guide. It's a quick reference. All you do is you slide it down to the hole that you need, and then it'll tell you. And then for the most immediate, you just pull it out, and it has your instructions. So if you're, not trained, yet you still want to be prepared, there you go. Now I do have some extra pieces, such as roadside assistance, glow stick, 200 watt, made by Dorsey, or 200 hours, I'm sorry, 3 watch batteries, very, very good for traffic and nighttime. Now next, we have a whole bunch of little bandages, things like that. I have 2 of these. I like to keep my kit filled. Always have a pair of goggles. You never know when there's going to be flying blood or anything. It's just better to be precautionary. Okay. Always have tape. My body itself, high acidic skin. I can't use tape other than paper tape. Always have some of this with you. You never know. Always have a sharp pair of scissors. I use shears. They're a lot easier. They work. Very sharp. Biscar is great. Westcott is the best. Always stays sharp. Always stays clean. Next, always essential, you're going to have gauze pads. Load up on them. You can never have enough. These are small, sterile pads. There are also non-stick pads. They're nice to have as well. But they do the job. You can also, enlarge them, make it last better. Now, because I have such a wide variety, and I'm also accident prone, wound closures, steri strips, always nice. They don't hurt your skin. But that's just going above and beyond. Again, a lot of little bandages. You can get these almost anywhere. Assured brand first aid kit, 42 piece. Little nice thing to have in a pack of yours even. Non-adhesive sterile pads. Very, very nice to have. Again, load up on tape. You can never have enough tape either. From here, you're going to want non-stick pads. These are the larger ones. They're cushy, very nice to hold on to stuff. Now, I don't have it in here, but I would also suggest getting a rope of some sort. I like paracord. It can actually be used as a bandage. I'll be showing you later on how that can be used in an emergency situation. It can cut off blood flow by making a tourniquet, or it can also be used as a bandage. It has great absorbent powers. Now next, we have a big one. We have gauze pads. big gauze pads, large gauze pads for more of that bloody, the immediate skin scrapes, car accidents. I've used them a lot. Comes in handy. You can dab up blood, put pressure on it. Very wise to have. This is another thing that's awful nice to have, especially in the car. Alcohol swabs. These things don't really freeze, so you can keep them in a car in the wintertime. It's not like a bottle of peroxide where that will actually freeze after so long, especially when you get into the Midwest or the mountain regions. It gets really cold. You don't want to have a defective product. And more gauze pads. I shop everywhere that there is a discount. It's always nice to have extra stuff. Roll gauze. Can't stress the importance of this stuff. It's great for covering, wrapping around a leg or something, holding something in place. Also, you can build it up if you're short on gauze pads. Works great. You never have enough. Now, you're probably thinking by now, you can never have enough. Well, yes, that applies to everything in your first aid. You never know. Now, let's see what else I can dig up in here. Essential. Triple antibiotic ointment. Any brands, no matter what. Now, what I need to stress about this and the alcohol, you need to make sure that anything that you have, aspirin, pills, anything in here, make sure to rotate it every once in a while. If it's getting close to the expiration date, you can bring it into your house and use it. You probably use it a lot faster in there before out in your first aid kit. And make sure you throw it away when it expires. Don't use it after it expires because it won't work as well. And it could actually lead to infection eventually. Next, very important, I just bought a new canister because I used up all of mine. 50 pair of vinyl disposable gloves. Vinyl is great because you won't have to worry about people with latex allergies. As far as I know, there's nobody that's allergic to vinyl. So, very nice. And always look for medical quality. Ansel, I got this pack, I believe it's for $3 at Walmart. Walmart, don't usually shop there, but they're great buys. I always go there. Especially for stuff like this. And all of this stuff can be made to enforce all of the things that I told you. Bandages, things like that. You know, your usual finger-sized bandage or a larger bandage, things like that. Gauze pads. Always have extras of that. And the way to make sure you have a nice, strong first aid kit is to actually get a first aid kit. Johnson & Johnson makes a great one. It's a huge assortment. It's 182 items. And it has tweezers, triple antibiotic, all the usual stuff. It's even got a light stick if you needed it. But with this, you can build up on the stuff it doesn't have a whole lot about, and it will actually keep. I'm short on words. It will actually keep a lot longer, and you can make sure that you don't actually run out of this as fast. It will also come with aspirin, things like that. Motrin. It's always nice to have extra aspirin because you never know, especially with stress. People, older folks, you never know. You pop an aspirin, make sure that they're calmed down. It can prevent a heart condition. You don't want that. The only thing I have left to say is that you want to make sure that with all of this that you keep an inventory, always have what you need. Now, don't ever, I'm going to turn the camera around here. Don't ever try to do anything that you're not sure about. Yes, it is always nice to have a manual of some sort, first aid book, but don't do anything without consulting. Call 911 immediately. Let them know of the situation. They can walk you through to get the situation under control if you're not sure, if you're not qualified or trained. And leave the big stuff to first responders, the EMTs. Let them get to the situation. But it's always nice to be prepared, and you can save lives. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Have a great one.